Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This is Tatum Gray, Guardian of the Voice Missing podcast. I'm here with my co host, Ricky. How are you doing, Ricky? How are things going?
Not too bad. Just trying to get this thing shared over to Kansas Missing and unsolved, and my computer's being wonky.
Okay.
Sorry I wasn't here
Um,
last week. My work schedule kind of prevented it last week. So,
that's okay. We totally understand. And I definitely, doing it by yourself definitely gets you tired of talking, that's for sure. But glad that you are
oh
back.
yeah.
All right. So, Facebook user, I still don't know why some of you guys show up. Some of you guys don't. Haven't figured that out yet. Says, hey guys. So, hello. And then Andrew and Michelle Deedline. Is that how you guys say your name? Thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys coming out. Let us know where you guys are from at any point in time in the podcast. If you have questions, you want to say something, I know we'll have family members that are on here as well. I always encourage the family to, if there's anything they want to add or to say on their case, that is up to them to do. Um, but I'm glad that you guys are there. Hi, Misty. How are you doing? And Missing Persons is out there as well. Hi, Allison.
And
And Ricky, you know Misty from Missouri. So,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Th- Thanks,
yeah.
guys, for joining. Um, it's been a busy week, but we'll go ahead and get started. Tonight, we're going to start out with a case that Ricky and I do every week. This is Melissa Ann Trumpy. She has been missing since October 26, 2021 from Shannon, Illinois. She was 37 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 38. Her height is 5'10", 163 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. She does have multiple piercings on her nose, upper lip, 3 studs on her right cheek, and 4 in her left cheek. Those are all shown below. I have recently updated her flyer with some added tattoo pictures that I did not have on her flyer before. She does have a heart in the middle of her chest. I do have added the swallow birds that she has up there on the top of her shoulder, her left thigh with a skull, and it does have other multiple tattoos that cover the rest of her leg. Her right arm has lotus flowers and a koi fish, and on her back she has footprints with names and dates. Melissa was last seen in Monroe, Wisconsin, and traveling to Shannon, Illinois with her boyfriend. She was last seen wearing a black Michael Kors jacket with unknown colored shirt underneath, blue jeans that had holes in it, and unknown colored shoes. Melissa and her boyfriend were presumed to be driving in her silver Toyota Tundra truck, which had been located the next day abandoned on Bolton Road in Stevenson County, Illinois. All of Melissa's belongings were still in the car. Melissa has not been seen or heard from since. It is out of the ordinary for her not to have contact with her loved ones and to not be with her children. Foul play is suspected in her disappearance. Prior to her leaving with her boyfriend, she had told a friend that she did not feel safe going back with him. Also, everybody that's pretty much been involved in her case is not cooperating with law enforcement at this point in time. So, if anybody has any information out there regarding Melissa's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Greene County, Illinois Sheriff at 608-328-9400 or Greene County, Illinois Crime Stoppers at 800-422-7463 or the Carroll County, Illinois Sheriff at 816-244-2633. Her case numbers are G2108630. Her other case number is 2100015341. She is also out on NamUs at MP85898. I know that the family is really wanting to get her back home um, because it has been a long time since anybody has seen or heard from her. So if you guys have any tips, please feel free to contact the police, or you can send a message to Ricky or I, and we will take care of that. Some comments out there. I'm in Kansas. Thank you for joining. Someone said it's frozen at their inn. Are you talking about the feed is frozen?
Or your weather.
Or your weather? Yeah. Hashtag Melissa and Trumpy. Someone say, hey, you both. It happens to come across again as if you see Facebook user again. It's Amber. Much love for all you do. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate it. I appreciate what you do as well with missing people. It's really great. Someone put 250,000 missing people worldwide every year. That is true. Hashtag find Melissa and sending love. Again, I do not know everybody who is sharing, but thank you guys all for coming out there and joining us. Also, I see, thank you both for continuing to bring attention to Melissa's disappearance. You are most welcome. We will continue to share her story until she gets located, and keep her out in the public eye. And that's any case, actually, that Ricky or I do. We will continue to try to help get them located. So at any point in time, again, if we have flyers out on somebody and you see them and you want to add something or you know something, please let us know.
We got one that says, I'm a Kansas missing and unsolved group follower. And somebody else says 138 missing UK big cover up.
Who's the one from? That's your group. Kansas Missing and Unsolved is Ricky's group. That he had founded and has had forever. He does a really great job. He definitely is my mentor and has helped me learn a lot of things. So, yeah, he definitely does a great job. He does have his podcast tonight after this one. If you guys want to jump over to Kansas Missing and Unsolved and see some of the cases that they're doing, please go out and support him as well. He does not only Kansas cases, he does do Missouri Missing and Unsolved group, and he does case for them, but he also does any case that anybody will ask him to do.
Oh, it's Kelly.
So, it's Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly Upoff. Yeah.
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for joining.
Hopefully you're feeling better, Kelly. Hope you and Scarlett are feeling better. So we can see David Clark.
Yeah. Hi, David. How are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, David. I've really gotten to know David a little bit, and I've enjoyed getting to know him. We will be sharing his mother's case a little bit later in the show. Glad you guys are good.
Yeah.
Someone said, I hope so. I hate that both of us have COVID. Yeah. I hope you guys get better. Definitely.
That stuff's no fun. I've had it twice this last year, so
I have never got it. So my one son got it, and I never got
share
it.
Next time. If I get it again, I'll be glad to share.
I'll take a pass on that. Amber put, please help my friend Claire, who simply wants some answers. We will be sharing Claire's brother's case later on in the show as well. I went to the police as a witness to see 2 missing children. The police did not want to know. Be interesting to know a little bit more about what case that you're talking about. Is that recent? And if it's something that you want us to cover, and let us know. You, like I said, if you want to send a message to Guardian or to one of us or to Ricky or to our private or personal pages, that's fine as well. But yeah, I would like to know what that's about as well. Also, someone says the big cover-ups are how many people are killed by organized crime in this country. Yeah, I have heard some different stories on stuff like that going around as well. So it just have to be safe on what you're doing and what you're digging up, and um, get that out. So we will
Yeah.
go ahead and move on. Do you want to do the next one, Ricky, from New York?
You can sure can. Let me find her flyer here on my file. Computer. Assuming that's what I see from New York's life. 21 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She is moving out of New York, however, Cobb County, Georgia, police her whereabouts. If you have any information, you know her whereabouts, please line with the Cobb County, Georgia Police Department 770-499-3900. Also for missing and exploited children at 800-843-5678. And see if we can help get Alyssa located and make sure she's okay. It's interesting. She's missing in New York, but Georgia's looking for her. That's interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting to find out that
Georgia's
Georgia.
interested in her.
I am not quite for sure why they're looking for her. But if you are in the Georgia area, if you guys can share her flyer out around there. Again, this is something that I always kind of like to point out, and as well as Ricky, is the fact that just because someone is missing from a certain state does not mean that they cannot be somewhere else. So I encourage you, no matter where you're at, if you would share the flyer. You never know who you might share it, and they'll see it, and they'll be able to get that person located or get some tips or something. So don't limit to where you share just because they're not in your state or whatever. So please share. A couple comments out there. Did this fix me displaying weird? I'm not for sure. I see that Amber has came across. Thank you both. You're simply amazing human beings. Thank you, Amber. And David Clark says, appreciate all that you two of you doing and help in our search to find and bring our missing loved ones home. Thank you very much. And I know, David, you too help with doing stuff as well. And, you know, appreciate all that you do and all of our families. So, question to you, Ricky.
Yes.
Someone wants to know what you think about the percentage of missing men and women are due to cartel violence and organized crime.
What do you think about it?
What do you think the percentage of
Guy, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even begin to know where to guess on that one. I don't know. I know what they're thinking of. I mean, there's a lot of missing people that are missing because of cartel stuff, you know, cartel involvement and things. But I wouldn't begin to know the percentages at all. I would have to dig into that and see if I could find something.
Yeah, I would say that it could be quite high.
I would possibly.
He wanted to know what you thought about the percentages wise in the Kansas area.
Oh, in the Kansas area? That I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, right now, let me pull this up real fast, and then I can tell you how many there are missing in Kansas right now. No, I didn't know there was a silver alert for a Kansas man missing this morning. I missed that one. Huh. Let's see here. Right now, they're saying, and this fluctuates every day, that right now there's 225 juveniles missing in Kansas and 327 adults. So about 550 all total. 552 total missing.
How many of those do you think might be related to drug cartel violence?
I don't know. I've never heard of any numbers or indications that a lot of them, or that any of them were results of that. I mean, a lot of the ones I get involved with are like missing juveniles from the foster system, that kind of thing. That's what I mostly get involved with. Of course, missing adults too, but the juvenile are most generally either run away from home or they're, like I said, missing from the foster system.
Right.
Of course, I have one up that's a mom and three kids that the mom doesn't have full custody and the dad does, and she took off with the kids. And when they went to the house, the last address that they were living at, the house was empty. So
Yeah, we should have covered
yeah.
that story. I didn't realize they
Mm-hmm.
haven't been located yet. But yeah,
Yeah, more media is picking up on it now.
that's good. I know with it being Human Trafficking Month, I know a lot of people have concern with the issues with the drug cartel, human trafficking, and all that going on. So, I mean, it does exist. We know there's stuff that goes on in any area of the United States. There are some that are more predominant than others. A couple other one, check out 411 Missing Hunted. I've never heard of it, but
Haven't
we
either.
can look into that. Also, Missing People Project. I have heard of them.
I have heard of that one. 411 missing the UFO connection. I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
I don't know about that. There is a lot of corruption involving the cartel. That is very, very true. Not a single dedicated missing people TV shows in the world until this.
I noticed more news stations are starting to do stuff like that. I know Kansas City, one of their stations is doing a KC Unsolved type thing. And then there's a news station in Arizona that's doing their missing and unsolved. There, Amanda Berry, that was initially a missing person herself and held captive in that house in Ohio with the two other girls. She does a missing person segment on a TV station up in Ohio. So there's several states that are doing them. So
yeah,
it's good that they are.
Annette Lawless, she covers missing people in Kansas, which is awesome, from Cake. Hi, whoever said hi, Tatum. I'm not quite for sure who that is because, again, it's a Facebook user. Someone says every country missing. That's true. It's everywhere.
Yep, Kelly, looks like you fixed it.
And you
I don't
know
what you did. I don't know what you did. Yeah, that wasn't a horrible situation with the Amanda Berry, and I'm trying to think of Gina DeJesus, and I'm trying to think of the third one's name. Can't think of it on top of my head. And I got a book about it just right over here next to me.
I think we both have the same book, actually. Someone says I got a case I mentioned on TV, then the police threatened to arrest me instead. I would love to know about that case. So
Michelle Knight.
The Lost Girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever put that, if you want to send me a message, I would be interested. I'm sure Ricky might too, but I don't want to speak for Ricky. But they said they got a case that they had mentioned on TV, and then the police threatened to arrest her. So I would be curious to know about that case.
Really? That is interesting. I'd like to know about that one.
And
got the case I mentioned on TV, then the police threatened to arrest me. Why would they threaten to arrest you? That's interesting.
Right. Amber saying 411 is a Michigan resource for all resources possible. Thank you. David is saying Arkansas this week has a 526 missing this week. Last week, Arkansas had 535 missing. NamUs only shows that Arkansas has 351 missing. There seems to always be a large discrepancy in numbers. That's true. I know from what I've heard from some law enforcement, they are now actually being pushed to put more information into NamUs and to use NamUs just as much as they use the NCIC, which I think is great. I do know that there is law enforcement that is out there and they are updating their stuff on NamUs. So definitely, if you have a missing person that's been missing, I would definitely push to have them put on NamUs. Because it does help advocates like us, gives us another resource to get information, but it also is a resource out there for other people to see your guys' cases. So definitely. But yeah, David, that's kind of where Kansas is. Kansas, I know, fluctuates between 526 to 535, and it is misleading. And these are only cases that are reported. These aren't the cases that aren't reported. unfortunately. I think people who are in the actual group page need to like the Facebook page that has to do with this and not comment from posting videos on the group, if that makes sense. There is a page as well for Guardian. I will repost that out on the group. Michelle Knight is here. Thank you for joining. Is the other girl. She said,
Yeah, Michelle Knight is the other girl. Yeah.
Like if you are commenting on Facebook user, go to the page itself, not the group, and then you will not be anonymous. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Okay.
Okay,
that makes sense. All right. Someone says they are here from West Midlands, Ukraine. 197 went missing since the 1st of January. Wow. That's, been in 12 days.
I think it's United Kingdom. It's United Kingdom, not Ukraine. United Kingdom.
God, I'm sorry. United Kingdom. I'm sorry. Don't laugh at me, Ricky. It's been a long day. Someone from Greenville, Allie, is saying more than 40 people have been charged in the upstate of South Carolina as part of a drug trafficking case known as the Las Cenaritas, according to the Attorney General Alan Wilson.
Wow.
That's good. Ellie doesn't always put everyone in NamUs. You are absolutely correct. From what I heard, that's going to change. That they are going to start mandating that they have to put them in NamUs. There are some law enforcements in some states that they use NamUs all the time. So I heard that is changing, that they are going to start being mandated that they have to put them in NamUs as well as the NCIC. Because they always have to put them in NCIC. So I'm hoping, but it will take time to get all those cases in there and up. Someone said police delivery searched the wrong area, missed a clue right under their nose. I'm not for sure what case they're talking about.
Me neither.
And then someone said Kelly said, sorry for trying to figure out your Facebook issue. I just thought it was annoying. Yeah, it does make it really kind of hard for us. Someone said I set up 17 missing people sites. Facebook blocked them all. If you want to send me a message, or Rick, that might be something we can help you with. I'm not really quite for sure why they would block. I know there's advocates and people that have Facebooks that are having struggles with getting blocked or they get restricted. If you want to send me a private message, I can see what I can do to help you out with that. Last question for a minute. They tried to push for that in Wisconsin and it was fought. Are you talking about having people out on NamUs? So I am going to go ahead and go into the next case. Ricky, do you want to cover Anthony from New Jersey?
Sure. Anthony Ovendo. Let me pull him up here real fast. Gotta find him. Oh, come on. Yeah. I need it. Figure out what. Rita Ovendo. I hope I said that right. Missing from New Jersey since November 20th to 2021. 17 when he went missing. He's now 18. He's 5'5". If you have any information regarding Anthony's disappearance, you know his whereabouts. Jersey Police Department at 609-581-400. You can help get Anthony located and back to where he needs to be.
Yeah, Ricky, you're breaking up a little bit.
No problem.
Okay, and Marie is here. Hi, Marie. It's okay. You're a little bit late. You did not miss us talking about Sean. We will talk about him a little bit later in the show. It's David Spitzer and Patrick Warren from Chimsleywood, Birmingham, 1997. So that might be something that we need to look into, Ricky, that case.
Which case was it again?
David
Patrick
Spencer.
Warner
Mhm. And here's a case. Anyone heard of a missing James Candy from Canada? No, but we can look into him and see. We do have an advocate out here that does have Canada sites up. What does NCIC stand for? National Crime Information Center. You are correct. Criminal Records Database, allowing criminal justice agencies to enter and search for information. And that's across the nation.
And they also do have a missing persons section on NCIC as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's one reason why Ricky and I push for you guys and for everybody out there to get a missing persons report. Because if you do not get an official missing persons report done, it does not go into the NCIC. They will do a tip to locates. Those do not go in the NCIC. Those stay local. NCIC, if they travel anywhere or get stopped by law enforcement anywhere in the nation, they're going to be able to pull that up.
Yep.
So, all great questions. Thank you guys for talking today. I love it. All right. So the next one that we are looking for to talk about is Alexander Michael Krug. He has been missing from Wisconsin, Milwaukee, since July 20th of 2020. He was 33 at the time of his disappearance. He is now 35. His height is 6 foot, 175 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He does have a scar on his stomach, and he does go by the name Alex. Alex struggles with mental health issues, and his delusions had been increasing over time. Alex had been last seen by family August 1st of 2020 at the McDonald's at 25th in Wisconsin in Milwaukee. He was last called a family member at 8:20 a.m. on August 6, 2020. He has not been seen or heard from since, and he was last active on his social media back in July 17th of 2020. Alex's associates stated that he wanted to move to Mexico. Alex had no passports or financial resources to move out of state or out of country. Alex's driver's license has been located. There has been no proof that he has ever got on a plane, train, or a bus ticket. They did say that he had dated a Hispanic woman who had spoke little English, but she has never been found or came forward since his disappearance. Alex has always lived in Wisconsin his entire life and is not known to travel. There has been no evidence that he has ever left Milwaukee or out of the country. Alex has always kept in touch with his family on a regular basis, and he would not have been gone this long without contact with his loved ones. Foul play is suspected in Alex's case. If you have any information regarding Alex's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Milwaukee, Wisconsin Police Department District 1 at 414-935-7405. His case number is 210-76-0083. He is in NamUs MP 79246. Somebody out there knows something about Alex's disappearance. This was a guy that was in constant contact with his family. His phone has not been located, but his driver's license had been. So if there's anybody out there that knows anything about Alex, please, let law enforcement know. He does have a page out there that's set up for tips and everything. You can also message us as well. So, all right. The next one is Danielle Rico. She has been missing out of Hemet, California since August 21st of 2022. She is 39 years old. She is 5'2", 140 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Her left arm is disabled, as you can see in the pictures below on her flyer, and she has multiple tattoos. She has tattoos of her kids' feet on her shoulders, a large fairy on her back, which is sitting on a mushroom, and she does have tattoos on both of her wrists, which are pictured below. So Danielle had been living with her boyfriend for the past 2 years, and she had been evicted from their home. They started living with friends and neighbors in the area. At the time of her disappearance, her boyfriend said that she had left with another man. There are conflicting rumors of when Danielle was last seen. She does not have a phone of her own and has not been active on social media. Danielle could still be in the Hermit or Homeland, California area or Sage, California. She could also still be on the Samoa Reservation in Hemet, California. Danielle is considered missing under suspicious circumstances. If you have any information regarding Danielle's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Riverside County, California Sheriff's Department Jason Trudeau investigator at 951-955-2777, or you can email him at jtrudeau@riversidesheriff.org. Her case number is D222570037. And Ricky, I'm going to let you handle comments if you want to watch them and everything.
Okay. There's some other ones here. Check out Missing Andrew Goldston, UK child. Check out Missing Royal Air Force man Corey Williams. Missing
Corey
boys
Williams,
Birmingham. 12 witnesses with me that night. The police did not interview any of them. And somebody says pretty girl and bring Alex Kruk home.
Yeah, we will definitely check out some of those cases and see what we can do to help get them some coverage. The next case that we are going to cover, I did cover Patsy last week. I did want to cover her again to let her story get out there with her family and stuff. Patsy has Delois Riddance Clark went missing March 4th on 1987 from Little Rock, Arkansas. At the time of her disappearance, she was 55 years old. She would now be 91. She was between 5 foot and 5'3" inches tall and 165 and 180 pounds. She has brown hair and green eyes, which could be gray at this point for her hair. She did have scars across her forehead and the bridge of her nose, as well as her abdomen from a cesarean surgery. She previously had fractured her lower left leg and pelvis. Patsy was last seen by her ex-husband, who she still lived with despite them being divorced. He stated that she had gotten into a yellow cab number 289, and that was en route to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and it was unknown if she arrived or there is no record of the cab fare. Her Social Security checks were her source of income, and her checks in March and April had been cashed. However, in the following 6 months, those 6 checks were sent back. She has had no contact with her loved ones. Patsy does have a history of domestic violence much of her life. Patsy was illegally declared dead 5 years after her disappearance. Patsy was known to travel and would visit different places such as Memphis, Tennessee, Hot Springs, Texas, Oklahoma, and other places in Arkansas. If you have any information regarding Patsy's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call Little Rock, Arkansas Police Department at 501-371-4510. Her case number is 8741-6268. Her NamUs number is MP1648. So again, to clarify on her Social Security checks, those were cashed after she went missing. So the 2 in March and April had been cashed, but then the next 6 months, those were sent back. And then we will move on to Ricky. Do you want to talk about Gary Baker?
Yeah, real quick, David said that at the time of her disappearance, she still would have been using her crutches from her injuries that happened on October 31st, 1986. That was a comment from David Clark.
What did he say? Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's see.
Here we go, so everybody can see it.
Yeah, let me pull Gary Baker. They're illegal. You're illegally declared. Somebody's questioning you on that one.
No, you can't have a missing person can be legally declared dead without them
I don't
being
know if
found.
you said it wrong or they misunderstood, but they're asking illegally declared dead.
No, they were legally declared dead.
Okay. I got Gary's ready to go if you want me to cover it.
Yeah, and someone said you should find
Okay.
out who cashed them.
Yeah. Okay. Gary Baker went missing from Rapid City, South Dakota, December 5th, 2022. He is 61. He's 5'11", weighs 200 pounds, partially gray hair and hazel eyes. He could possibly still be in the Rapid City area or traveled out of state. If you have any information regarding Gary's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Rapid City, South Dakota Police Department at 605-394-4131 and see if we can help get Gary located and back home to his family.
And that is a case that law enforcement is definitely looking for help in locating Gary. So if you guys see his flyer, will you guys please get that shared out and everything? Because law enforcement is really trying to get a hold and get him located since he has went missing. A couple things I see, and I want to let everybody know, if you see MMIP advocate, devoted Indigenous activist, that is a good dear friend of mine. She has just started a page, and we will be putting it out on Guardian, and you may have seen her out on Guardian or Missing Persons Alert. Please go out and share her page. She is a great advocate for the Indigenous. So I can't really say, I mean, I could say a lot about her, but she's great. But no, I want to know what comment you want me to handle. But yeah, please go out and share her page. She will help locate anybody. She's an amazing resource out there.
Right.
So please go out and promote her page. And if you have any cases, let her know. Hashtag in Danielle Rico. There was a case of a missing child in Italy. The police tried to stop the mother from oozing for her child, she told me. I'm not quite for sure what that
That
means.
what it means either. I mean, I wonder we're supposed to be looking.
Oh, it could be looking for a child.
Mm.
It seems to be especially problematic, especially in the Michigan area, as far as human trafficking concerns. God bless you all for all you do. Thank you for sharing, dear now friends, now Alex. There's definitely some foul play involved. Yes, human traffic up in the Michigan area is big. So definitely those are cases. What else? For Patsy's case, here's some hashtags. Hashtags are always good for people to locate cases. The more hashtags you use, it almost kind of makes it makes you famous, I guess. So then people only have to click on hashtags, and it just makes people be able to find stories a lot quicker and stuff. So I agree, Kelly. Too long to be missing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you were there and offered to make a statement. The police didn't want it. Yeah, there's some cases that are out there that are pretty crazy that I don't understand why they were not interviewed and stuff like that.
No, that's crazy.
MMIP advocate, can we touch on all the people going missing in Arizona connecting to addiction recovery centers, please? Absolutely. That is something that I've been looking into. So I would definitely want to join some forces with you. What she's talking about is in Arizona, people are going to these addiction recovery centers and then they go missing. And the stories are like, oh, they just left on their own accord. But then there's stuff to say that that's not true. There's so many stories out there, but yeah, I definitely do want to cover more of that because that is really big out in Arizona and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and cover some more cases, guys, because I want to make sure that we get them covered. Do you want to do Horatio de la Cruz Barrero?
Yeah, I can do him. Here's Barrera. Miss Wilson was 37. Looks like 5'4", 130 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He had been having some paranoid going missing, according to family members and an employee. He left behind several of his cell phone in his room. He does not have a vehicle. He has had no activity on his bank account. It was unknown what he was wearing when he went missing. He did go missing from the 300 block of Wisconsin Avenue in Beloit, Wisconsin. If you have any information regarding Horatio's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call Beloit, Wisconsin. Beloit Police Department. Beloit, Wisconsin Police Department. Oh, okay. You got Beloit in there twice. It's 608-364-6807. We're the Wisconsin Clearinghouse for Missing and Exploited Children and Adults at 1-800-843-4673. And see if we can help get Horatio located and back to where he needs to be.
Yeah, there's a lot of cases up in Wisconsin that are going to be on tonight that I'm trying to get covered and out there. I'm going to do one more case and then we'll do the located safe. This is a case that I cover every week. This is Abby Rain Schaefer out of Kansas City, Missouri. She went missing on May 23rd of 2022. She was 22 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 23, 5'2", 120 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She does have a birthmark on her forehead that you can see in a lot of the pictures. She has her nose, lip, and ears pierced. She has multiple tattoos, which you can see in the photographs below. So Abby had went missing from her home around 12:40 p.m. on May 23rd, 2022, when she had gotten into an unknown gray car with an unknown male individual who had been sitting outside her house for over 6 hours prior. So you can see in that picture that she did come out and she did speak to him. The picture that you see of her wearing that tan crop top shirt, black leggings, and Nike sandals are the last time that Abby was seen, and that was her coming in, and she was coming in to get her cat. And then she went ahead and got her cat and got into that vehicle. And Abby's phone had pinged in many places that day of her disappearance in the Kansas City area, but she has had no activity since that day. There's been no activity on social media, and it is not like Abby to not have contact with her loved ones or to be on social media. Abby was last known to be taken to an address in South Kansas City, Missouri, where she was observed entering that address but never exiting. If you have any information regarding Abby's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department Sex Crime/Missing Persons Unit at 816-234-5220 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 866-362-8422. Her case number is KC2203-5898, or she is out on NamUs MP 94236. I will tell you that car has been located. There is no information that can be shared about the individual that was driving it. Also, her cat has been located and returned back to family. Another thing for anybody out there watching, because a lot of people are talking about feeling like law enforcement is not doing anything on her case because she's not getting coverage with the media. I will tell you that law enforcement is very active on her case. They run down tips all the time. They have never stopped looking for her. They have done some searches for her in the Kansas City area. But they are active on her case. One thing that I can point out, as much as everybody would like to know everything that goes on in a case, that is just not going to happen. There's cases out there that there's information that law enforcement is not going to release to the public because it could be detrimental in a case, especially if there's any cases out there that there is foul play. So I know a lot of people have been talking about, why isn't law enforcement saying anything? Why isn't the media covering these stories? Well, for one, law enforcement can't do that. They can't let everything out. The biggest thing is we have the information out that can help get them located. As soon as people get located, you still may or may not know the information that you want to seek on their case. So for us, getting the information out to help locate is what we need to be focusing on and doing. But I will tell you, especially in her case, I know law enforcement is doing everything they can in their power to get her located. So if you guys could share her flyer, send it out. But the other thing I want to point out is people to respect the families out there of the missing. I know people want to help, but there's a lot of things that are going on right now with several different cases where people are going out of their way to do podcasts that the family doesn't know about, and they're putting out information that is not true. And that is something that we need to work on not doing, because it is harmful to the missing person and it is harmful to the families. So I do ask each and every one of you, I love the fact that you guys will share flyers, that you want to be actively involved, and that is great. But please be mindful with the information that is getting put out there about the missing person that could possibly not be true. It can be damaging to cases, but it also can be very hurtful to a family. So I do definitely want to point that out. And I don't know if Ricky has anything else he wants to share about that, but I've seen a lot of it out there. Just please put yourself in their shoes, how you would feel if someone was putting out information that could be damaging to their loved one that is missing's case.
Really, the only thing I could add to that would be just to, be mindful of your comments too, because a lot of times comments get really out of hand on some of these flyers, in certain cases, and having to go back and delete and monitor and keep track of things, make sure that, I'll give you an example. I did one recently for a trans girl who identifies as a male, and the comments on those flyers get just ridiculous, just out of hand ridiculous. I mean, somebody will ask for clarification on whether they're biologically female or male or whatever, and somebody will shoot back, what are you going to do? Pull their pants down, look at their genitals. And I mean, it's comments like that. People don't stop to think that the families of these missing people, as well as sometimes the person on the flyer themselves, sees these comments, and they can be very hurtful to the family and the person on the flyer. So people need to be mindful of what they're commenting and how they're phrased. Be respectful to everybody all the way around.
Definitely, I agree. So, and that's one thing I can speak for myself, and I think I can speak for Ricky. Not only do we, and I know there's other advocates out there as well, but not only are we trying to protect the missing person themselves, we are here to protect the family as well. So that is something that we will not tolerate. Like you said, we will delete comments. We will ban you off pages. This just will not be tolerated. If you can't be here to support and be positive and to help families locate stuff, locate, tips, locate the person or anything like that, then this is the place for you to be. And that sort of stuff will not be tolerated on either one of our pages. And I know there's other advocates that are sitting on here that it won't be tolerated on theirs either. So please be respectful to the loved ones who are out there looking for them, because you would want the same respect if it was you. So I am going to do the located safe real quick, and we will be back. Always good to see that, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah, it's always good to see the located safe reels.
I know it's hard for the ones out there that are still looking, but it is good
Right.
that um, some of them are found and they're located safe. But I do know that there are still families, even though that their loved one has been found, they are still out there supporting the families that are still missing people.
Yeah.
So I love to see that as well. A couple other comments, real quick, I thought was interesting is the fact that in the USA we have the Amber Alert, but they don't have anything like that in the UK. So that was interesting. I didn't realize that they didn't have anything over in the UK. So that might
Yeah.
be something that needs to change um, and to fight to get something like that out there for you guys.
Quite frankly, I think our Amber Alert needs tweaked a little bit too. It's not
Absolutely.
exactly the best, so it
Yeah.
needs some work.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff I think that a lot of advocates and families are trying to push to get some stuff tweaked a little bit better and updated.
Yeah.
Um, Mr. Fenton David McCauley has a great site, Missing Persons from Ireland.
Ireland. Awesome.
I'd have to check that out.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so very sorry. It's truly been the saving grace for so many missing. Pastor Charles William Amber Alert site is great, has good results. And they are working on
Ashanti Alert
for adults. Now, I do know there are some states that do have certain adults, and it's not just a silver alert, but they have alerts for adults. Someone said, "This is great. Thank you. You are most welcome." That is the best part of the podcast, and that some of these people are coming home safe. I could not disagree with you more. Or, not disagree with you. I don't know. It's been a long week for me, you guys. It's been a long week, but yeah.
Sadly, I did one recently that was located deceased, unfortunately.
Yeah, I had one of those as well. So right after the first of the year. So we do reels for located deceased because we definitely want to pay our respects for those that were not able to come home.
Honor their memory.
Back to their family. But we try to do that all together and stuff, but we will put one of those together.
Yeah.
So moving on to our next case. This is another one out of Black River Falls, Wisconsin. Gene Jacob Cloud Jr. He has been missing since January 25th of 2012. He was 20 at the time of his disappearance. He is now 31. 5'8", 140 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. His left ear was pierced. An unknown tattoo is on his left hand. He was a member of Ho-Chunk Indian tribe, and his nickname was Breezy. He was last seen wearing a black stocking hat, black jeans, and a red hooded sweatshirt, a black leather jacket, black shoes, leaving his girlfriend's home on the evening of January 25th, 2012. He was driving on Highway O near Millston Township, where his vehicle had slid off the road and had got stuck in the ditch. An officer had stopped to help him, and when he asked for his ID, Gene ran off into the woods, taking his 6-month-old dachshund dog. Police attempted to follow him, however, they did lose track of him. He was last witnessed to be walking down Highway O a short time later. It is suspected that he may have fled due to being fearful about the accident due to the car being his girlfriend's car, or the fact that he did have a few outstanding warrants on minor charges. He had recently moved to Omaha, Wisconsin to be with his pregnant girlfriend and to support his child. He was working on making some changes in his life. He was working and went back to school to get his high school diploma. Tribal volunteers were able to track Gene's footprints for over 3 miles. He was walking parallel to the road. However, he did cross over and back into the woods at times. It is unknown if he was picked up at the last place where his footprints ended or something else happened. Gene's cell phone and social media has not been active since his disappearance. Family does not believe that he left voluntarily. If you have any information regarding Gene's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Jackson County, Wisconsin Sheriff Office at 715-248-5357 or Ho-Chunk Nation, Wisconsin Police Department at 715-248-2658 or the Wisconsin Clearinghouse for Missing and Exploited Adults and Children at 800-843-4373. His case number is 12-00595. He is also out on NamUs MP 21322. I do know that Gene's case has been covered on, I believe, a few shows for the missing as well. But I wanted to get him covered to see if it could help get any information out on him. So if you guys could go out and share that, that would be great. One thing I do want to point out, I try to point out, if you guys do see the red handprints on a flyer or the red alert, that is for Indigenous. So it's just identifying that those are Indigenous people that are missing. So if you guys could definitely share Gene's flyer, I'm sure his family would be appreciative of it. This was a new case that came to me this week, missing out of Willoughby, Ohio. Sean Charles Lee Lullenberger, and I might have chopped his name. He has been missing since June 28th of 2021. He was 50 at the time of his disappearance. He is now 52. His height is 6'1", 220 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. He does have a large scar under his left eye. And if you look into that photo that is in the middle of his flyer, it does show that scar really well. He does wear glasses and contacts. Sean does have multiple tattoos. I do have pictures of those down at the bottom. He does have a gargoyle on each of his upper arms. He has a tattoo also on his chest and stomach. Sean does have a stutter when he talks, and he does walk with a slight limp due to an ankle injury. He does have medical issues that do require medication, and it is unknown what he was wearing at the time of his disappearance. However, he is also known to always be wearing black steel-toed boots and sunglasses. Sean had stayed with his ex-wife on June 25th of 2021. He had said that he was going to go get his paycheck the following day and was going to take care of some bills. On June 26th of 2021, he had went to get his paycheck, came back, and had left some money on his ex-wife's table, but she did not see him at that time. It had been reported on June 27th, 2021, excuse me, that after he had picked up his paycheck, that he had tried to call and reach out to a female who he had been with in Massillon the night before. By calling a man who he had also been hanging out with the night before, which would be June 26th of 2021. It was said that he could not reach the female and that she did not want to see him. After that call, his phone has never been used after that. There has been no contact with him after that. Sean's vehicle, a 2003 Chevy Tracker, which is pictured below, was found a month later in Akron, Ohio. Sean's wallet and phone were not on him, and it's believed it was not in the vehicle, and they do believe that those items are on him. Prior to Sean's disappearance, he had made a payment taking care of driving infractions that he had since September of 2005 in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Sean, according to others, would not have abandoned his child, family, or his job. Sean was last seen June 26th of 2021 in the area of Rolling Park Drive in Massillon, Ohio. If you have any information regarding Sean's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Willoughby, Ohio Police Department at 440-953-4240 or 440-953-4212. His case number is WY211-9855. He is also on NamUs MP 84738. This is one of those cases that, very out of the ordinary. He would have never left his child behind. He had a job. he was doing things, people don't just take off and disappear. So, if you're in the Ohio area, please share his flyer. I know they said that, from what I understand, that where they did locate his vehicle had sat there for quite a long time before the business had reported it being there. I don't know why they took so long to report it, but they did. Do you want to cover the next two, Jalen and Riley?
Sure. Okay. See, one missing from Buffalo, New York since August 4th of 2020. Was 12 when he went missing. He's now 14. 5'3", 145 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He's last seen wearing a black t-shirt, sweatpants, gray with black stripes, Nike shoes. When he left his home on August 4th, 2020 at 11 a.m. If you have any information regarding Jalen's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Buffalo, New York Police Department at 716-851-4444 and see if we can't get Jalen located and back to where he needs to be. And which was the other one?
Riley Youngman.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Ryman missing from Rapid City, South Dakota. This is a red alert up there. December 1st, 2022. He's 14, 5'8", 139 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Has a rose tattoo on his right hand. Was last seen on foot wearing a black hoodie, torn jeans, and black shoes. If you have any information regarding Riley's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Rapid City, South Dakota Police Department at 605-394-4131 and see if we can't help get Riley located and back to where he needs to be.
All right, we're going to move on because I know Ricky has got to go to his other podcast, but if Ricky needs to step out, he can do that and I can finish out if you have to, Ricky. The next case that I'm going to cover is Michael. What was that?
I'll let you know.
Okay. Is Michael H. Enberg. He is missing from Monterey, California. He went missing on January 6, 2023. He is 6'1", 170 pounds, blonde hair and blue eyes. He does have sandy blonde hair. Michael does have multiple tattoos. I am not sure where those were all located. He does have a scar on his ankle and on his stomach. Michael had left on foot from the CHOP Hospital in Monterey, California on foot. He had left against medical advice in early December. He could have been wearing jeans and a black Adidas hoodie. He does have medical conditions that do require medical treatment, but due to other conditions he struggles with, the willpower to get the help for those needs. Michael had been living homeless in that area for the past 7 years. If you have any information regarding Michael's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Monterey, California Police Department at 831-646-3428. His case number is YG2300049. And I know that there's a lot of concern for him due to him leaving the hospital against medical advice. And his family desperately would like to find him. All right. The next case is Myra Renee Lewis. She is missing out of Camden, Mississippi. She went missing on March 1st, 2014. She was 2 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 11. I do understand the height and the weight is from when she originally went missing. She was 2 foot 10 inches tall, 27 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Mariah was last seen wearing a turquoise sweater with a bear image on the front of it, off-white or khaki pants and pink sneakers, playing outside her home on Mount Pilgrim Road between 10:30 a.m. and 11 a.m. on March 1st, 2014 in Camden, Mississippi. When her mother was leaving to go to the store, she had asked her children to go inside with their father while she was gone. They did not realize that Mariah was missing until 3 p.m. Each parent had thought that she was with the other. After an hour that the family had looked for her, they did notify police. After an extensive search of the area, there was no signs of Myra. The FBI has offered a $20,000 reward for any information regarding Myra's whereabouts. If you have any information regarding Myra's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Madison County, Mississippi Sheriff's Office at 601-859-2345 or your local FBI office or the NCMEC at 800-843-5678. Her case number is 14-3401. NCMEC is 122-9163, and she is out on NamUs MP24696. I did add the pictures of what she did look like when she disappeared, but there are a couple age progressions, and I believe the middle one is the most recent that they have out on her. So they had done searches and nothing. So if anybody...
That's sad.
It's very sad. So hopefully she's out there somewhere and somebody knows something. The next one out of New York is Syra Jones. She went missing January 2nd of 2023 from Pleasantville, New York. She's 16 years old, 5'7", 188 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. That's all the information that I do have on her. So if you have any information regarding Sierra's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call 911 or the Mount Pleasant Town, New York Police Department at 914-769-1941 or NCMEC at 800-843-5678. NCMEC number is 1469738. Hopefully she can get located and back home to her family. Do you want to do Shaylin?
Yeah, I can do Shaylin.
And just so you guys know, we'll cover comments after we get these last three cases covered.
Okay, Shaylin Way, missing from Pleasantville, New York since December 27, 2022. She's 15 years old. She's 5 foot tall, 115 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Shaylin's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call 911 or call Town of Mount Pleasant, New York Police Department at 914-769-1941 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678. See if we can get Shaylin located and back to where she needs to be.
All right, two more cases. This is Sean Reddish. He is missing out of Tallahassee, Florida on August 31st, 2022. He is 48 years old, 6'2", 200 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He does have a tattoo on his upper right arm, medical conditions that do require medication. He was last seen at the Rocky gas station at Crawfordville, Florida at 7:41 p.m. on August 31st, 2022. That picture on the right bottom corner is the picture of him at that gas station. Sean's 2016 Volvo S60 was found abandoned on September 2nd, 2022 at Spring Creek Highway, just south of US Highway 98. This location is about 3 miles from the gas station. That is a picture of his car and where it was found. Sean's phone, wallet, and keys were not in his car. If you have any information regarding Sean's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call 911 or the Leon County, Florida Sheriff's Department at 850-606-5800 or 850-606-3300. His case number is 22-0012-4613. I know that his mom has been doing a lot of work to get him located and stuff. So if you guys could please share his flyer again, since he has definitely been missing since August. So it'd be good to get his flyer back out there and share it. If you guys could, that would be great. the last one for the show. Again, this is a case out of Rapid City, South Dakota. Law enforcement is very wanting, looking for him and active in looking for him, and asked if we could do a flyer and get him out on the show to help get him located. His name is Dwayne Yellow Cloud. He is missing since December 12th of 2022 from Rapid City, South Dakota. He is 5'10", 180 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. He does have a tattoo of lightning bolts on the side of his face. If you have any information regarding Dwayne's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Rapid City, South Dakota Police Department at 605-394-4131. His case number is 22216-906. So if you guys could get him out there and help law enforcement and his family get him located, I know they would all be appreciative of it. So I will try to cover a few of these.
Wow.
We have a lot of comments.
Yeah, I was looking at the one at the very bottom. It says there's 89 comments and 85 shares.
Oh, on his?
One. On yours. On this one tonight now.
Oh, okay. Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
That's cool.
All right. I'm trying to get back to where we are on answering question. Did we cover this? Tons of missing Indigenous people in Wisconsin. So many aren't even on NamUs.
Right.
Yeah. One of the biggest complaints I have, I guess as an advocate, is the fact that I am a huge supporter in helping Indigenous people be located. And when I go out and look at databases, and there's tons of Indigenous people out there and there's no pictures. It's really hard to locate someone with no picture. So that is definitely something that I'm hoping in the other Indigenous advocates that are out there, like the MMIP advocate that is on here that is my friend, that is something that we would like to see changed, not only for Indigenous people, but for all people. Anybody could be 5 foot tall, 212 pounds, black hair, blue eyes.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a big problem across the board. I run into it every day.
Yeah, so that is one thing as advocates, I know a lot of us are pushing to get done. So yes, you're right. There are tons of Indigenous people missing everywhere. But yes, Wisconsin has a lot. Montana has a lot. Washington has a lot. South Dakota has a lot. They're just everywhere. So if you see any type of flyers, please share those flyers out. Help them get located. Do you know the boy that went missing from the same area as Maddie McCain? And that 900 children went missing from that area over 9 years.
Holy crap.
Where is that? Where was Maddie missing from?
That was over in England, or not England. It was crap. I can't remember now. I remember the case very well because the parents left the kids asleep in the room while they went over and hung out with some other adults and came back, and Maddie was gone, and they haven't been able to find her since.
That might be another one to cover.
Yeah.
And MMIP advocate says, yes, this is very true. Thank you for acknowledging that. You are most welcome. We have, I believe, 7 or 8 tribes in Wisconsin. Okay.
Real quick, I'm going to have to duck out because I'm going to have to get over to my other podcast that's over on Kansas Missing and Unsolved. Or if you guys want to watch that one, you can watch it at Kansas Missing and Unsolved. Or if you want to watch it on YouTube, you can go to Ricky Tabruggi, which is me, - Kansas Missing and Unsolved, and that's the YouTube channel. But thank you guys for being here. I got to duck. I will talk to y'all later.
Thanks, Ricky. I appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too. I'm going to go ahead and continue on. I know it's going over the hour that we normally allocate, but I don't want to ignore your guys' questions. Someone said, yes, I'm not exactly sure how tribal government handles those cases, as it is believed different, and I'm not sure. I know that MMIP advocate is definitely a good resource to talk about that. From what I understand, they play a role on tribal land. And she had answered, yes, each sovereign nation handles cases as they see fit. So there is some difference, but I do believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if it is on tribal land, then they do handle those cases, and the Bureau can handle those cases, the Indian Bureau. And just let me know if that is correct. Someone put, I do know there are search and rescues in Wisconsin that would love to help search for missing and indigenous. If you know those groups, could you please send that to me? Because I know there's some families out there looking for good avenues and quality people. If you could send a message to the page, I would like to be able to look into those and also pass them on to families in the Wisconsin area. Someone said, does anyone else think there's a mass cover-up going on in a lot of these cases? My question is, yeah, on some of these cases, I do think that there's foul play that's going on. And I do feel like somebody knows something and people are hiding the truth and not coming forward with what really happened to them. I do believe that happens in a lot of cases. Someone else put, ex-detective from the West Midlands Police admitted that the police destroyed 400 files on missing and murder cases. Wow. I hope that that will be something that they will have to be held accountable for, because that's terrible. Someone put, I believe they have to ask for help. I'm not sure how it works. It's really hard. There are no volunteer search and rescues in Wisconsin that can search without LE permission due to the SAR requirements. LE is not always helpful and has even denied search and rescue volunteer groups from other states. I know that happens. I know that does happen out there, but you guys have got to keep pushing it. That is one thing that if there's something out there that you guys feel, isn't right, let us know. Let us be the voice. The more that we do not stay silent on the things that are going on in the missing persons world, whether it's with laws, teaching, everybody can learn. Law enforcement can learn. We can learn. It's all about teaching and doing things differently. What worked back then doesn't work now. Everything has changed, but don't stay silent about those things. We need to speak up about the things that need to change out there in the world. And one thing that I will tell you, I've been told by law enforcement, they're happy with the advocates that are out there, such as me, that does come out and help on some of their cases and stuff. And they're thankful because it gives them a different set of eyes, different things they need to change. And a lot of law enforcement is willing to do that. I know a lot of law enforcement out there are stubborn. I do get it. But I will tell you, they cannot deny a missing persons case. It is in every state statute across the nation. They cannot deny you a missing persons case and to put it in NCIC. And I will continue to be working on getting the statutes up. So if anybody has problems getting law enforcement to take your missing person case, reach out to one of us advocates and stuff, and we will help you get that taken care of and get missing person case out there. This Facebook user says 75 missing in Ireland. I don't know if that's Cork, Ireland. I'm not very good with some of the stuff overseas, but thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. David says, thank you so much for airing Mom's case. Patsy D. Clark, missing from Little Rock, Arkansas on March 1st, 1987. The never ends until our missing come home. We are their way home. If you are a hunter or in the woods, please be very attentive to your surroundings. Should you see anything that stands out or should it be there in your hunting, please check it out. Report it to local police department. It could be information that brings our missing loved ones home. I'm glad that you brought that up, David. I do have a thing out there. If you guys are out hunting, hiking, fishing, somewhere in the wilderness, and you see something, please do not touch it. If it's something out of the ordinary, like I don't know, a shoe, a purse, something out of the ordinary, take a picture of it. Immediately call law enforcement, but try not to disturb it at all or pick it up or anything, but immediately report that. I do have a page or something that kind of helps tell you some of those details of what you do if you are out there and you find something. Because David is right, it could lead to a missing person. It could lead to a homicide case. It could lead to anything. So anything that you see, make sure you take a picture of it. Please do not disturb it and immediately call local law enforcement. Someone said you guys should have a missing persons show. I don't know. Podcast. I mean, I like podcasts and stuff, and I would be willing to do anything for anybody to find someone who is missing. So that's something we could think of it. It's a huge deal in America, needs more coverage. I most certainly agree. Like I said, I think last week I could probably do a podcast every night and still never cover the same person twice. There's just so many out there. So I do want to thank everybody out there that shares. I want to thank the advocates that are on here that I work with, and even the new advocates that I see out there. You guys are doing a great job. And I know the families appreciate it. I know the missing appreciate it. Keep going. If you're having issues with anything, please reach out. I'm willing to help anybody out there, whether it's a family member, whether it's a fellow advocate. I will do anything I can because I'm obviously very passionate. There's advocates out there that are just as passionate as me. I want to make changes. I want to do what is right by the missing and their loved ones. Bring Alex back home. Amen. These two are simply amazing. Thank you, whoever said that. I appreciate it. Also, Ellie doesn't always realize these people could be or are in immediate danger due to stigma. Adults have the right to go missing or run away. That is very true. I will tell you, I've gotten in arguments with law enforcement about how people don't just go missing. I don't use the term runaway ever because we don't know their circumstances and why they left. We don't know. And even if they were a chronic runaway and they have left on their own accord, it doesn't mean that this time, like you said, that they cannot be in immediate danger. I mean, any of us can walk out of our homes today, go to the grocery store and not come back. That's just the harsh reality of how our world is now. So I agree. Law enforcement has to take into account that we don't know the facts of someone missing. And every missing person deserves a voice. Every person deserves a missing persons report. I'm sorry, but if you've been missing for 30 days, law enforcement should not even hesitate to take it. There is a case where a family is struggling to get a missing persons report, and they've been gone since before Thanksgiving. That's too long. That's not. I mean, even if they simply wanted to walk out of their lives, yes, they have that right. But at the same token, it's good to have a missing persons report because we don't know. This is out of the norm. People don't leave their children. People don't leave their jobs. People don't leave their ordinary thing, especially when they're putting their life back together. And just all of a sudden one day, people don't just wake up one day and say, oh, by the way, I think I'll just go missing today and never talk to anybody again. That doesn't happen. And if they do want to leave on their own record, and if you are out there missing and you have left on your own record, contact law enforcement. Let them know where you are. If you don't want to have contact with your family, yes, that is your right. But take care of your missing persons report. Make sure that someone knows that you're okay. Law enforcement as an adult does not have to tell the person who put out that report where you are located. That's a law. Now, a child, that's different. But as an adult, at least let somebody know that you're okay. Call law enforcement. If you know that you have a missing persons report and you don't want to be found, that is your prerogative. I know that's not what families want to hear, but that is the law. But law enforcement will let you know that they have contacted an individual, that person is okay or, whatever, and they don't want to be located. So they can give you that much. but it is their right if someone does want to walk away. But they still should have to do a missing persons report. So that is something that I know a lot of families don't like to hear, is if a person is missing, law enforcement won't tell them if they don't want to be found. So, oh, thank you. I appreciate that, guys, for all the support that you guys are doing. Pictures without filters. Yeah. I always try to get, if I can find pictures out there that makes people look natural, how they really look without all the filters. I do try to do that. I'm not always successful about it, but I do try. But the sad thing is, that's our world. We are in a filtered world. Everybody wants to be filtered in their selfies and in their pictures. An urgent search is underway for a 4-year-old Syra girl who was reported missing Tuesday afternoon. Athena Brownfield out of Cyril, Oklahoma. That is one that, if you guys see that out there, get that posted and see if we can get her located. Yes, as long as it's on tribal land, the BIA can step in and assist on cases. Cork Island. Okay, thank you very much. Yes, thank you for sharing my brother Alex Crunk's case from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We hope to bring him home one day, even though if it's just to lay him to rest. Thank you so much. It is surreal. You are welcome. David Clark says good night. Good night, David. Thank you for being here. That is very true. There could be someone out there that is lying out there sick or injured. And I do have a missing persons flyer where they do know that that person appeared to be injured and they're missing and no one can find him. And they have done some searches on him as well. But I won't keep you guys anymore. I do want to go out with a prayer. I appreciate all of your guys' support. We will be here next week on Thursday, same time, same place. I appreciate all of you guys' support for the families, for the missing. If there are cases out there, please feel free to send me a message, and I most certainly will try to get them covered as fast as I can. So I am going to go ahead and say a prayer tonight, and we will close out for the evening. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching over us as we do advocate and look for the missing. Please be there for the families to support them, to give them healing and wisdom of what they can do in these times. Anybody, Lord, we just appreciate everything that you have done for us. I know we don't always understand what is going on in our lives and what happens when someone's missing, but if you could please help guide some of these missing individuals back home to their loved ones, and giving the loved ones strength to never stop being the voice, as well as the advocates, and giving advocates and law enforcement wisdom and everything that we need to help locate the missing. God bless. Amen. And thank you all for joining, and I will see you next week.